Hi, how you doing? I don't even know where I was looking there. You probably thought I was looking at the picture, I think, or something crazy. Hello, I'm live. We're live. So tonight is in lieu of Friday night because I will not be available. And then I'm going to have a little bit of a break for a week. So I thought it would be fun to pop on for a second time because I was on yesterday as well. And oh my goodness, look at, I'm going to film the video, but I finished my tag book. I woke up, or actually didn't go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep, so I came down and finished it last night. So look at there. I did the little shaker box I talked to you guys about. So if you didn't see this, it is in my YouTube videos, in my Facebook videos. I did a free Fernwood tag book class, and that is the finished product. And there will be a part deux to that video where I'll do a walkthrough and explain all of the things that I did. But it really turned out fun. See the little shaker box? So sorry, there's glare on it there. I put glitter and sequins in it. And then I love on the back, I use that little seed pod. So it will be fun. I will do a flip through. That's going to be happening. Probably I'll have it posted probably tomorrow because I'm going to just film it and upload it and get that done for you guys. So how you doing since yesterday? Hi, Robin. Hi, Heather. And don't worry, Heather. It's going to be a quick one today. I'm planning on being here for about an hour because it's not going to take us a lot of time. We've done the flowers. I've prepped them. It is going to be a layout with stenciling, and then we're going to layer the flowers, and then a title. And I'm going to put one photo, but you can put as many photos. You'll get the gist of it. But it will be a quick one tonight. And then hopefully this gives you a little bit of something to do for National Scrapbook Day or while I'm gone for the week, right? So I hope that you find something, some kind of takeaway from this. And where I'm not going to talk long, I'm going to flip the camera and get right down to work. So hello, friends. Any questions before we get started? Here's a little information. So this is obviously live. If you guys are here watching me live, I like to do these videos live. I'm Vicki Booten. Nice to meet you if you're new. But they're always recorded, so a lot of you are watching after the fact. So this tonight is a second part to the video I did last week, which I believe was April 22nd, where we did hand-drawn flowers. Where, let me find them, because look at, I did some more. Remember, I said I was going to do some homework. So we used my neon texture paste for American Crafts, and then we doodled flowers, and I cut them out. And I said the part two of this will be a layout and card using the same technique. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to flip the camera and we're going to get right to it. Hello, Bea. How are you, my friend? Oh my goodness. I love you so much. Happy to see you here. So many friends. Yay. And the time difference, right? Doing this a little early is going to work great for some of you and some of you not so much. So if you aren't here live with me, you can watch this recorded later, but it's going to be fun. So I'm going to flip the camera around. You need some stencils tonight. I used prize ribbon in Oxide and in regular distress. And as I'm looking at it, I might go in with a lighter blue and just ink the background. I'm going to decide as we go through it. And I'm going to flip the camera and let's get started. All right, here we go. I'm so excited. So hello, friends. There's lots of new friends here that I'm seeing names that I don't recognize. Very happy to see you. Hi, Kari. How are you? And I'm so happy Robin is here. So yay! 2 days in a row. I know, it's just crazy. Oh my goodness. I took food out to make for supper, and I just said to them, look, dudes, I've been working all day today, kidding and doing things. And I'm like, I ran out of time. So you're going to have to go get supper because I can't do it. So that's what happened in my house. I don't know what's happening in your house, but I'm here and excited. So look at, I even die cut a whole bunch of little thanks for my card. This, I decided, is going to be one of the techniques. I'm going to cut this in half and show you. I just took the neon green, lime sour, I think it's called. Let's look. Oh, look at, I didn't even use I don't even know where I grabbed that from. I think I put the wrong lid on it, but, and I just dragged this to make the leaves. So I'm going to show that tonight. We are going to create a background. Just need a repeatable stencil, right? A repeatable stencil to do your background. I did this in Oxide and regular distress using prize ribbon. I love this color. And then just misted it with some water. Now, as I was looking at this, I was thinking another option, which I'll do on one of them, is we could go in with just a little bit of a light blue in this section to tone down the white. I might do that, but I love that it kind of looks like a quilt, right? So this is what we're going to be doing. So grab your goodies. We need to do background with some texture paste. I did this one to die cut my title for my card using the peach sour. I'm going to show those two things. And then let me find a scrap piece of paper just so I can show you how I drag that on. And then we're going to make a layout in a card. And I actually prepped everything so that you didn't have to hang out for too long tonight. So my card side is going to be a 5x7 right off. So I cut this down to, this one is 4.5 by 6.5, and then a navy matte that will match my ink to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And I haven't cut my card base, but this will go on a 5x7 card base. I wanted lots of real estate for this card. Okay. So that you need a sheet of paper. If you don't have foundations, because we're only using distress ink, you could do this on anything. Okay. So let's get started. Now, the stencil I'm using, I believe, is from the exclusive set that was with scrapbook.com, but you can use anything. And when I say repeatable, it's just something that I can place and line up and layer and move around my page. So you want something that is a repeatable pattern just so you can fill a large section. If you have an 8.5 by 11 or a 12 by 12 stencil, you could totally use that instead and just do it in one fell swoop. One fell swoop, right? Bea, you're going to bed. It's midnight here, but we'll come back and watch tomorrow. Thank you, my friend. And then we made all of these awesome flowers, right? And this layout is literally going to be the flowers, a mat, and some title work. I am going to keep it super simple. So even if you are brand new and you don't have a lot of scrapbooking products, or you don't have anything that really coordinates with this, you totally could just use everything that you made, right? Natalie's feeding her family. I gave Devin my bank card and said, go get food, because I had no time to do it. So I'm like, see you, bye. So the one thing you want to remember is you need a different ink blending tool with each one of your inks, because you don't want to cross-contaminate distress and oxide. And you'll know, because if you use your oxide and then go in your distress pad, you will see a white chalky residue. So don't do that. Okay, don't do that. You want to have a different blending tool, and I'm going to even, to make it faster, make sure I have one for each. Okay. So you can put either one down first. I started kind of in the middle of my page so that I could have the most amount of ink in the middle and then kind of feed off of that. Okay. So you guys can play along, or you could do this later if you just feel like hanging out, or maybe you're making supper and you just want to watch. That's fine. My whole intention is that I didn't want to leave you hanging because I won't be here on Friday. So you'd have something that you could come back and watch and do a little bit of fun crafting with, or save it for National Scrapbook Day, right? So also be watching, because I have to talk to Natalie, because I've left her hanging too. We had talked about getting some stuff ready, and I'm going to see if she can help me with that. But we're going to have a couple of challenges, and we are going to have some giveaways, if nothing else, on the Vicky Booten Creative Community, my group page on Facebook. So you could be watching on Facebook right now, or maybe you're on YouTube. But there's going to be some fun stuff on National Scrapbook Day, even though I will be on my first vacation in 100 years, right? So when I go down here, look at, I'm doing some areas darker, some lighter. I am not filling in the full rectangle of pigment. I'm just kind of starting my pattern. Now I'm going to take this stencil and I'm going to line this up and I'm going to add more pigment. But what I want you to keep in mind is start maybe in the middle and then lightly join into where you just inked so that you have some white spaces and then some inked spaces, and make some darker and some lighter. It just makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay. So I'm doing that again, not making a whole rectangle of pigment. Kind of feed it into the bottom a little bit. Okay, so starting to build my pattern. You don't want to go everywhere with this. So this one might look a little different than my original, but it'll have the same kind of gist. Any questions as we're going? Hi, Leanne, how are you? So I'm going to feed this one kind of off the bottom of the page because I think that'll be interesting. And I think it looks kind of like a quilt or wallpaper is kind of what I was going for, that the background just kind of looks like a wallpaper pattern. This is the original. Okay, so I'm going to feed this up here and I'm going to go in with Distress. And then because the two inks are totally different, totally different inks, and they have different qualities, that I thought it would be fun to do some with Oxide and then go in and layer a little bit in regular Distress, because the Oxides are chalkier and then the regular Distress has a little bit more oomph. So I thought it would be fun to go in and just hope it kind of lines up. I'm all right with that. Create a fun pattern with the two types of ink. So make sure some are beefed up and some are softer, right? And then I'm going to feed it up this way a little bit. Were there questions that I missed? Question: did you put the tag kits you mentioned? I have not done it yet, Jennifer. Oh my goodness. I had to film some videos today. I am often pulled in so many directions, but I'm going to. I'm trying to get all of it. So I said I was going to last night, and then I got caught doing some other stuff, and then the family still requires me. So I am going to put those up. I will post them tonight. Okay. I'm not going to give you a time, but 100% I will get them up, because you're like, lady, what the heck's going on? I was waiting. You said 10 o'clock and then you didn't get them up. I will. So yes, I realized today that I'm like, oh, Vicki, you didn't do that, you dingbat. So I will. Okay, I will, because I only have 6 of them. So I apologize for that. Like literally, oh, if you would have saw me just right before I came on here tonight. Craziness always. Right? So I'm going to do a little bit more, because this one I did kind of different than the other one. Good enough. Okay. So now you want to clean off your stencil, because, right, we don't want to contaminate our ink pads. So I'm just going to move all of my stuff. What stencil is that? I think, because look at, it's my product and I don't even know half the time. This is the one from the exclusive set from scrapbook.com. So I will put a link to that later. I don't know if they have any left or not. It sold like hotcakes. So I apologize if you're like, I really want to get it, and you can't get it anymore. But a lot of you will have it, right? So that's all I'm doing is quickly misted my stencil, and now it's good to go for the regular Distress ink. Okay, so you'll see that these inks have 2 different properties, right? One is chalky and one will go on a little deeper. So I'm not going to ink this one everywhere. I'm just going to build some sections with the regular Distress just to give it a little bit of oomph. Okay. I'm going to move that because it's not lined up as well down here. And then I'm just going to go around and move the stencil and just add a little bit of regular distress onto my Oxide just to deepen it up. And because we are going to mist with water, the water just reacts differently with the two different inks. So I'm going to just keep loading it and building some of the depth there. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing with that piece that you cut for the card. You're going to ink it up. The size again was 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I did the exact same technique on that little card mat. Okay, so you're going to do the exact same technique on the card mat, because I thought this is fun, is showing you a card and a layout using the exact same design and mixed media techniques. So if you're a card maker, you can find something that will tickle your fancy. And then if you're a scrapbooker, you have something. You could use this on 8.5 by 11. This could go in your art journal. You could make a canvas using this, or maybe framed artwork, whatever you want to do. All of this will work with any type of crafting once you make those handmade flowers and then a pretty background. And then I just thought distress would be easy because everybody has it. It's fun and water reactive. So when we go to do the technique on it, you'll see the magic. Okay. Very happy with that. Hi, Vicky. I was always told you were not to mix distress with Oxide. Could you clear that up for me? Yes, I just have said that a couple of times. You will know as soon as you do it. If you're not supposed to contaminate your pads. You can mix it on your paper, but I used ink blending tool for each one. I did not blend my same blending tool, and I did not go into one pad and then into the other. You don't want to contaminate your pads, meaning ink in here and ink in here, because the Oxide, you will see that the milkiness will show up all over your distress ink. So do not mix those two inks, right? Will you be coming to teach in the UK anytime soon? I tried, Mimi. I'm actually teaching on a cruise leaving from Southampton in June. And we just couldn't make it work with my schedule and weren't sure if the interest was there. So not happening this time, but I will be in the UK in June. So I'm very excited about that. I just want to come off the edge here. But yeah, weren't sure if people would want to spend the money, because it's right. We have to get the product to everybody and kit it and all that. But yeah, it's not happening. Yay. So anyway, I'm going to now see, this is dirty. That needs to be cleaned up, and we're going to be misting anyway. I'm going to really wet the stencil and just get some of those blue drips to come on here. Why load a paintbrush, right? It's like 2 steps in one. I'm just going to mist that just because I think some paint drips would be pretty on here. You meant to come to that last retreat. Yeah, well, we'll have to work on it and tell all your friends so that if I ever come back, right, we could do that. Thank you. I guess I was busy typing the question while you were talking about it. It's all good, Vicki. Just so you know, if you go back, I did answer that at the beginning, because a lot of people might be watching what I was doing and get freaked out. Like, you're not supposed to mix those inks. I'm not mixing them. Okay. 2 separate blending tools and separate, or doing them in 2 separate steps and cleaning my stencil. Okay. So yes, whoever told you that, or wherever you saw it, if it was Tim or somebody else you were watching, definitely do not mix your inks together. It's no bueno. Okay. Now I'm going to take my distress sprayer and I am going to drip. If you don't have one of these, you could just load up a paintbrush. But what I wanted to do is, this is all a little bit too perfect for me. So if I go in here now and I just drip on this lovely reactive ink, right? It's the magic of distress ink. Then I can get a whole different look. Soften it in some areas. It'll eat away at the ink in others. I like to blend out especially kind of where the edges end, right? So now it's just kind of marinating. I'm going to lift my pigment up. Biggest thing, you don't want to rub this, right? What about after the blending tools are dry? I just wouldn't. I'd wash my blending tool because a lot of these inks never really fully dry on your blending tool, distress ink. So just it should have its own foam blender, or you could wash your blending foams, which I do because I'm not organized enough where they're all like perfectly laid out. But you can find lots of info on that. People have some great ideas on how to store their blending tools. So now see, I'm not rubbing it. I'm picking the pigment up and the water. So if you rub it all over, you're going to have a mess. If you do this, you will have, and I'll put it closer to the camera, this really interesting background that, you know what you could do too, which would be fun. Instead of using a paper towel, you could have put a second sheet and picked the pigment up, especially a more porous cardstock, maybe not foundations paper. But yeah, that could be really fun. So you just see I'm finding new sections of my paper towel, so I'm not redepositing pigment, and then I'm just picking it up. And then this is what you get. Right? It eats away at the ink. It's very pretty. Hi, Paula. How are you in Oklahoma? And then you have this beautiful background, right? So here's what my thought was, is that I love this, but it's very white and blue. Obviously, we used blue ink on white paper. So what I was thinking is I could go and grab a different color of distress ink in a lighter blue, and I'm going to ink a little bit of the background. Okay, so I might actually even remove a little bit more areas of pigment. And then I'm going to give this a quick heat set, just so I am not moving any of that moisture around. Okay. And then I'm going to ink some sections because I think that will be fun. Quick set. Don't have to bake it like a cookie. I'm just taking the majority of the moisture out of my background. Sorry, I just totally pulled it and unplugged it. Hola, Brenda in Puerto Rico. How are you? Hi, Brianne Loveland. How are you, my friend? So I have to let you know, I won't be sending your card till I get back. Okay, my friend? Because I really want to take the time to put a pretty package together for you. So I will also let Heather know that. So my paper's buckling just because as it's drying, right, all the fibers are kind of shrinking with the heat. So I will just, take this now and reverse that a little bit. But that's good enough. I just needed to get some of the moisture out, okay? So don't look at, now we'll have one option. We can see what it looks like with ink in the background and without and with. So I am going to grab a regular distress in my blues. And I want this to be very subtle. So tumbled glass might work, but it might be broken china. Very subtle. It's just, I don't want full on white. I find the contrast is too high. And you will see what I'm talking about when I ink. So the contrast, meaning that navy and white when I go to layer my beautiful flowers on, I feel like it's too, it competes too much. So if I can take this down and make it a very tone on tone background, I think it's going to be better. I might be right and I might be wrong. And I'm totally okay with, I'll be the one to test it, right? Let's see. Okay, got an ink blending tool here. Really, if you're new to this, the foamed blending tools, 100% better than the flat ones. Like seriously, 100%. So this one might be too light, but I'm going to start with tumbled glass. I love this color. So let's load up our blending tool and see if this will just very lightly soften that background. And I think it's going to work well. I might use both of them, but you'll see what's going to happen. Just watch for it. Wait for it. If you don't have a bunch of ink, you really could go in with prize ribbon, just very lightly, and blend it with your blending tool. It will mean there'll be way less contrast, right? Because you're going in with the same color, but that could work really well. See, I'm loving that. It's really softening that background. Question, is the foundation's paper less absorbent and better for this technique? Yes. Foundation's paper has kind of a coating on top. So your pigment just kind of sits and pools and does magical things. Plus, it's a lot heavier than, say, regular cardstock. So, yeah, a little bit different. So I'm liking this already. I'm liking this. I'm glad that I went with this option. Right? So I'm not going to cover every area with tumbled glass. I'm going to come in here and put a little bit of broken china on as well. You could go in if you wanted to and put water drops on again. I'm not going to do that. Just because I like that layer is underneath, and it actually makes it really cool when you put the ink on top of the water drops, and it just kind of softens it all. But if you want to do it, you know you totally can. We still will be friends if you do it differently than I do. You know, this is only a suggestion, and then I am quite okay with you doing whatever you want. That's what it's all about, right? Try the things, find what works for you, and go with that. My biggest thing is just try the things. Try the things. Like, don't be afraid to do this. This is why I love distress inks too, because they're beautiful inks, but with them being water reactive, it is like the best technique built right into the ink, right? So this is very light. So you have to, it requires a little bit of elbow grease, right? Because you're layering color. I'm saying right a lot, so I apologize for that, right? But to layer, if you want to deepen distress, really ideally, you would take your heat gun and dry the first layer and then go in with a second layer. Because that's when you will get the depth in your color, is by letting that first layer dry and then layering more pigment on top. Totally digging that though. I'm not even going to clean my blending tool because these colors are close enough. They're regular distress, not oxide. And I'm going to go in with the same blending tool. This color is going to be just a little bit deeper. Oh, look at that. Love it. So I'm not going to blend this everywhere, just in some areas, just to get that little bit of color variation and depth. And then I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can see it as well. Oh, it really makes your water droplets pop too. Love it. So you see how the color, I should show you because you probably can't see. So you have very, very subtle and then a little bit more oomph. This one goes on a little bit faster too. Blend it out into your white a little bit. So I love that. Okay, very pretty. So let me show you if you wanted to and go in here and water drop again, you totally could. And I'm going to show you just in this section. Oh, I actually like it. I lied. I'm not doing it everywhere, but I'm totally going to freaking do that. Oh, I love that. See? Just a little bit to break up some of these areas. Just a little bit, not too much. Not everywhere like we did before. We're just going to work in a couple of areas where that turquoise is. Oh, oh my goodness. I wish you guys could see this right here, that you're with me and you could see how beautiful that is. If you did nothing else but this background and you walked away from this tonight or whenever you're working on this and this is all you did, that's just magic. Freaking magic happening before my eyes. Seriously. Oh my gosh. Can you see that? So let me take all the water out. Can you see that? It's beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. So let me show you what happened there. So let's go in and build a little bit of depth. Maybe right in here. I'll build some depth. Oops, get the water off though. I don't want to blend that. And watch you don't pill the paper. Make sure your layers are dried. Pilling the paper means that if you go and throw and start rubbing their ink blending tool all over and your paper's wet, you're going to tear it up. You don't want to do that, right? So I just added some depth there. Went pretty dark, okay? So now when I go in and drip in that wet ink, I'm going to eat away at that ink because this is water reactive. It wicks and does magical things, okay? So you can't really see it yet. I can see my ink pooling. And then we go in like this, burp. You make that noise when you do this too, burp. Oh my goodness, yes, I love it. Look what just happened. Can you see the depth? Oh, it's magic right before your eyes. So very fun. Easiest, if this is all you ever do with distress ink, it is worth it. This is why it's worth buying all of the colors of distress, because it does magical things. And I don't feel that you need to have big creative muscles to do this. Anybody could do this. Pick this up and start playing with it. So I love that. Now, because it's Vicky and you know I do all the things. Are you ready? I love the distress sprayer. I do. I have to say, I have other misting sprayers that I bought like at the dollar store and stuff that work great. But what's really nice with this nozzle is I can spray it as a light mist or just lightly press on it to get the dots. So it does make it magic. Okay. Now, you know, in a perfect world, I would let this completely dry. I would run it through my Mink to flatten it and then make my layout. But I don't have time for that tonight. So just let me do that. So I am flattening my paper out, just running my hands, right? I buckle it all around. So now I've taken a lot of my dark blue away. So guess what I'm going to do? Grab that stencil and I'm going to go back in and I'm going to put some on top because why not? Right? There's no reason I can't put that layer on top. So I'm going to go in with distress. And now guess what? I don't remember which tool went with what. So I'm not taking any chances. I will just grab a new blending tool and I'm going to beef up some of my blue. Regular distress, beefing up some of the blue because this is magic on top of all those layers that you will kind of see pop through with different hints of color. So let me show you. Oh yeah, see? Just beefing up some of that blue that I took away and made very turquoisey. Do you have to do this step? Not at all. It's your project. You do whatever you want. But I do want some dark in there. So we will beef up a couple areas with the blue. I love it. It's bringing the pigment back up to the top. Okay. Very nice. One more here. And then let's move on. See, this is, I am doing way more than I had planned, because this is what happens. I start making the art. I'm having magic and fun with it. See what I'm doing here? I'm dripping through my stencil. So it just goes kind of in the blue areas, just to break that up, lifting it right through the stencil. And now I have a little bit more defined dots there. And then I'm just doing it on here, just breaking it up a little bit. And now I'm done, Vicki. Step away from the background, because this is only one part of the Picasso we're making tonight, right? So now you have two options, and both are as beautifully, what sprayer? It is the Distress Sprayer, and I have not put any of my share sale links up. I will later. So for you guys watching live, you'll probably just go find the stuff. For you watching after the fact, there will be info in the description of the video letting you know what I'm using, okay? What the stencil is, all the rest of the things. Because it's me, I just know I want to break more of that up. So I'm going to go in with a good pool of ink of water right here. So it's not drippy, it's more literally a pool of wet I just put there. And I'm going to pick that up. Sometimes it works, and sometimes I will know that I should have stopped. Oh, I love it. It just totally bleached out that area. Guess where else I'm going to do it? Right up here. So it is a pool. It is not sprinkly dotty dots. It's a big pool of water to bleach out that background. That makes me happy. Some of the dotty dots are a little bit too much, so I just want to break that down. Bleach it out. It looks sun bleached. This would be beautiful if you had photos of Greece. Okay. Bleaching that out. Very happy with that. Going to stop. Going to stop. Okay. Oh, it's so pretty though, my friends. It is this background I am in love with. So what I will often do, because sometimes you're making the magic and you won't remember the magic you made, is I will literally just put one of these in my art journal, or create, like I always call it, like my recipe book. And when you dry it, the pigment and the colors really pop out. If you were to put this, the water down and walk away and let it just dry without lifting it with the paper towel, you get really magical results as well. You just need a little bit more time, right? So let's try to flatten this out the best I can. It's got so wet now, it really needs to go through my ink, but I don't have time for that. So for your background for your card, you could do all these layers, or you could do it just the blue. And we'll decide when I grab the flowers now what we want to stay with, right? But you know, with me in mixed media, I could just keep throwing stuff on here and be quite happy. Rainbow camo. Wow, Jenny, I'm going to have to see what those look like. Hi, Kim. How are you, my friend? Okay. So I'm going to trim that off. Like I said, you could totally flatten this out. I'm not too concerned about it, but oh, got to plug in my, oh, give me a minute, friends. I have to yell at my husband. I need my charger. Rich, can you bring me my laptop charger down, the big white one? Quick. Because I just looked and it went, plug your computer in. Alert, alert. Okay, so I just cut a large mat. I'm just going to go with one focal point, whatever you want to do. Let's say that this is like a 5x5, but you can do whatever you want there. And then we have all the beautiful flowers, right? I have just took this happy title because I thought it would coordinate well. And then look at all of this magic that look how pretty these are going to be on here, right? It's totally going to work in a kind of, I'm just going to do like a cluster on the left-hand side. If you want to do double page layouts, you totally could do that. You could throw some pattern paper on here, whatever you want to do. I need some for my card, and then some. I have lots I could cut out, but I just thought this would be really pretty. Let's do some contrasty ones. And foam dots, lots and lots of foam dots. Hi, Joanne. How are you? Good morning from Sydney. I love it. So you could go in here with some pattern paper if you want to, but I think there's so much pretty going on with the flowers and your background that you don't need to do that, right? Thank you very much, Mr. Man. Rich to the rescue, right? Rich to the rescue. There, computer's not yelling at me anymore. I bought my mink after I started watching you in 2020. Finally used it the first time last week, flattening backgrounds for the card. It was amazing. It totally is. It works so well, right? Oh, friends, we didn't talk about this. So to create this background, all I did was take my palette knife and just smush the texture paste across it. You could use whatever you want, but I wanted neon leaves, right? So I just took the neon texture paste and just smushed it across, dragged it, and applied it again, and then let it dry. And I did the same with the orange that I'm going to cut my card sentiment out of, because I thought that that would really work well, right, to pop with the flowers. So again, here, let me show you quickly. Where's my paper trimmer? I'm going to cut this piece off because it's dry and I can use this right now. And we're going to use my technique with the circle punch. You know how we just use a circle punch and cut little eyeballs out? That's what we're going to do. So I literally just took some texture paste. You could do this with paint, or you could just ink and do smushing or kissing technique, whatever you want to do. But I just took some on the back of my palette knife. And then I just did this, and see how heavy that is? And then if I lift it all up, I get that kind of really neon back layer. And then I can deposit again, lift it, and just do those kind of draggy, like you almost want those skid marks, right? And then just went and just kept doing that. And if I wasn't happy with it, lift it and apply it again. Yeah, that's magic, right? And I did the same thing for the orange. And then I can pick the sections out of here that I like the best to punch my leaves. And then just let that completely dry. Okay. Oops, I'm going to get everything off my knife. Did I see Irene here? Is Irene here tonight? How was your birthday, my friend? Okay, good enough. Clean off your palette knife. Let that dry. And then to cut the leaves. Where did I put it? The dry one. Oh, here. I'm just going to take, I have a 2-inch circle punch, right? And you're just going to go in, find the sections that you like. And then go in and cut out of your circle some little eyeballs. But in this case, they're going to be little leaves. And I curl it. And then I have that option. The bigger the circle punch, the bigger your leaves, right? Yes, you are, Irene. I love it. You are a constant source of support, right? So these will work super contrasty with the neon, right? And then let's build my flower garden. So my mat, like I said, I'm just going with the navy. Once I put my photo on here, I think that it's enough, right? And then I have happy, and then the thickers, or love would work. And these were for the Pink Fresh titles. And then I also thought I could use a combo of the Color Study Alphas, right? Hi, Natalie. What did you have for supper tonight? I have been running crazy today. It's very bad because I'm doing my Gina Livy again. And the biggest thing is you need to eat your meals. And I have not really had anything to eat today. So I am going to have to rectify that at some point. But crazy times. So I'm going to cut a way big leaf for the bigger flowers. And you get the idea, right? Is that I'm going to just go in here and create my layout. You could put centers in the middle. I'm going to have to figure that out. So when I share the final product, I will have to find something. Sequins would be pretty. Whatever you want to do there, right? And then paper's thick, right? So I just put my hand down to support that. Caesar salad, sausages plus carrots, but your daughter baked chocolate raspberry treats. That sounds good. Oh, I love it. That green popping on there. So what's fun is if you had a little piece of green paper, you could totally put one more mat underneath here. Right? So whatever you're going to do there, I don't think you need a ton of flowers. You could do a center, even layer and pop up. Oh, I love it. I'm doing that. Layer and pop up. Yes, I love this stencil too. There we go, right? You totally missed signing up for Gina this time, Brienne. Try to do it on your own. Yeah, if you get the book, right? I love it though. I really do love it. It has just changed my life. So look at, and I think maybe one on this side. I love that. Right, friends? I might move it up a bit. Just have a little bit more room here. But this is pretty much the gist of the layout. I might punch a few more flowers. And then, like I said, I will definitely post this on my IG, Instagram, and on our group page, Vicki Booten Creative Community on Facebook. If you are not a member, head over there and join. Lots of fun stuff will be going on for National Scrapbook Day. But see, I love that. That is very fun. Going in with a little bit smaller circle punch. Just get a kind of wonky leaf. Right? And then I have a picture of Devin and I for my birthday that I'm totally going to put on this layout. So I could totally go in and put love you, love this, love her. Right? So let's get a, I'm going to go with the orange. That's going to kind of be the gist of this page. And I think I'm going to use all orange. If there's an orange Y, which there is, perfect. Right? Look at love you. Maybe I'll go in with a different color. We'll see. But that is pretty much all I'm going to put on this layout. There, I might find a little sticker label that goes up here, but I will layer. I'm going to embellish a little bit. If you want, you could mat one more piece underneath here, but I think this is going to be really pretty. Thank you for sharing that, Nat. So I will finish this, but this is a gist of what's going to be happening with this layout, and I will post it. I am looking at this, and I already know I'm going to mat one more piece of paper. I just got to find the perfect one that will match with this, maybe pull some of the orange. I will mat another piece of pattern paper and put like some kind of little element here, maybe a couple flag banners right here with washi tape or something. And then I will post the finish. Okay, friends? But I love that. Isn't it pretty? The contrast with those flowers. So I'm going to finish that and I will share it. And now I want to show you what I'm going to do with my card. I love it. So we'll get to see what the card looks like. But remember, I want to see what die cutting out of this is going to look like. So let's see if it's going to work or not. So I have these fun new dies, new to me, from Alt New, All About Thanks. I will link those up later, but I'm going to try it now. And we're going to die cut out of that background that I created using the texture paste. So let's see what we get. Yes, totally custom. Like I could take my stencil and stencil paste, and with the orange, I could make a background. So, right, I don't have to necessarily use pattern paper. I could customize it. You're totally right, Marcia. Let's see what's going to happen here. Burp, burp. I hope one pass will work. Yep. Oh my goodness. Look at the positive and the negative. Is it going to pop out? I should probably have went through twice just because the paper's thicker, but it's working. Look at that. So I just customized our background. This is foundations paper, so it holds the medium well. And then look at my neon thanks. My neon thanks. That's why when you see dies and you're like, do I need them? Yes, you do. Oops. Do I need a die cutting machine? I say yes eventually. It doesn't mean like not everybody can afford to buy all the things right away, and that's totally okay. But it's the gift that just keeps on giving, right? So what the idea will be for this is I learned one of the cool card techniques that I learned is layering these, right? To give it some oomph, to make it like it's a piece of chipboard. So I just cut out some additional ones out of foundations paper, and I will probably layer 3 of these. So what I will do is go in with my favorite friend, Gina K, her Connect glue or some kind of version of glue, or you could put like, run it through some adhesive background. What is that thing? I just forgot the name of it. The little tape machine that I could run it through and it would be perfectly gluey. What is that thing called? I just forgot. My friend Beth Kingston used to work for them. One of you guys are going to tell me, right? This is the best thing. If you said, Vicki, what is the coolest thing that you've learned like as a new card maker? Is layering freaking die cuts to make your own kind of chipboard. And because can you imagine? Or the other thing is, if I could have found it, I was going to do it with craft foam, and I don't know where it is. I couldn't find it. Remember, running out of time here tonight. So these are the coolest things. So I'm just going to go in with the adhesive, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm not going to show this. I'll show you the finished card, but I will do 3 layers. But you don't have to do the inking or the mixed media for all of the layers because it's going to be behind that anyway, right? My glue is a little clogged, so it is being not my friend tonight, but I'm getting enough out that I can show you what I'm talking about. Xyron, thank you. Yes, if I could find mine, I could have went and grabbed my Xyron, right? So I am going to layer this now on top. And the foundations paper is pretty thick. So really you could do even 2 layers and it would be enough. But I am always extra, as my kids tell me. proudly, extra. I will want 3 layers of that. Oh my goodness, but look at, we made our own little mixed media neon die cut. How fun is that? And then I will do it with my S, but you see what I'm saying? I think a 3rd layer will be fun. To layer it on 3 will be extra thick and pop on the card. So that's going to be happening with the S. And then let me show you my little card. Here it is. So like I said, I have not created the base yet, right? The 5x7. So my background, now we'll see what it looks like with just the blue, which I think will be fun. I won't ink the background on this one. This is for a 5x7 card. So I'm going to mat a 4.5 by 6.5 on a navy piece that is, look at me doing all the math, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then I will mount this on a white card base, a 5x7. I thought the pink really looked pretty on here. So I'm going to go in with the exact same idea and just layer some flowers on here. Right? What do we think? I think that is a nice combo, right? Some kind of version of this with some leaves. And then my thanks is going to go on there. And that's it. That's all I'm doing for this card. And I think it's going to be beautiful. Like, wouldn't you think? Would you be happy to get a card like that? Look how fun. So that is what I'm going to do. And then some of the green leaves. But you know what? I'm going to carry some of this orange is going to end up in the centers of those flowers somehow. I'm going to put a little orange on there or some orange drips, maybe some just orange drips, right? I'll pull this closer to the camera. Yes, I will put links though. Okay, friends. So I will link all of those dies. I will put all of the things. And I know you're probably like, Jill, yeah, you said that last night and you didn't do it. I promise I am going to Zumba because I really need it. I need a mental break, some exercise. And when I come home tonight, I'm going to go and do all the things I promised I was going to do. So I'm going to finish these layouts and the card so that, oh my goodness, I freaking love this. So that you have it. I will post the couple of kits that I have left for the tag book, and I will put all my share a sale links with the proper names to all the product. I will do all the things tonight when I'm laying in bed after Zumba. I will try to eat supper at some point too. But do you see what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so freaking pretty. I don't know what I was trying to say there. I wasn't trying to swear. I was going to say frickin' frack there for a minute. I don't even know what's going on. But there will be an S too. So don't be concerned. I didn't forget. It'll be thanks. You know what, friends, too? Here's the thing. So National Scrapbook Day, we're going to have giveaways. I'm going to be giving this card away. That's going to be one of my giveaways. And there's going to be some gift certificates to my store. So I think that will be fun. Oh my goodness. Who ever said that they didn't like making cards? It might have been me at one point, and now it's one of my favorite things. So to give you an idea, so you guys can see. Oh, I love this so much. And it's very pretty without inking the background, don't you think? Like without adding the additional color. Yes, but I will list it. Okay. I don't want to list all of the names because it's really helpful if you follow my share sale links, if you're going to buy it already. So I will list a link, and I very much appreciate when you guys let me do that. If you're going to do it, otherwise you'll just go find it anyway. And that's totally fine. But if you're going to be shopping for it at either scrapbook.com, Cherry on Top, or Simon Says Stamps, it is just an easy way. It costs you nothing, but it helps me for doing all of these lives for you guys, right? So I love that. So I'm going to finish this card. I'm going to put some details, pull that orange in a little bit in the centers, maybe in just drips. And then I also will add and embellish and finish this layout a little bit. Oh my goodness. But look at, really, we didn't have to buy anything a scrapbook wise, because we made all of this with those doodled flowers. And I think the navy really, 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 really makes this pop. So I'm going to flip the camera because I have like 4 minutes and then I have to run, just to see if there's any final questions or if you have any concerns. A 1 hour live. Can you even believe it? 1 hour. A 1 hour live. That is the craziest thing that I've ever done. I swear, because it's normally like at least 2 to 4 to 8 hours. So very excited that I was able to accomplish that. Sorry if you feel it was rushed, but it was one of those things. I said I wanted to do it, but I have very limited time this week. There's so much going on, but it's so pretty. I will finish. I will share links tonight to all of the things I used. I will share links on the tag book, and be watching for the tag video to see the finished Fernwood tag book as well, if you were watching that yesterday. Hi, Greta. How are you? Any questions? I love the card making now, Karen. I'm totally into it. And what I love too is that I just made a layout and a card pretty much using the exact same techniques on both of them. I could have made an art journal page. I could have done this for a framed piece of artwork. Totally could have done all of these with tons of dimension in a shadow box. Like, how beautiful would that be? We need to do that one night. We need to do something that is stretching our paper crafting. But I really, really, really love the neon. I was going to go black tonight, Natalie. I was going to do black. And then I went, ooh, what would navy, like a really rich navy, look like with these? And I went navy. So I think that's a really fun way to do this. Thank you very much, Karen. I'm literally going to be saying goodnight. I'm going to throw on my spandex, my tank top, and I'm going to go work out for my mental health and my physical health. I need it. I live for Latin music and shaking my booty. So I hope that that helps. And Natalie, remind me, can we catch up tomorrow so we can organize something at least for National Scrapbook Day? And Nicole, and I want to introduce our new design team. So would love to do all those things, and be sure that you're checking out the Vicky Booten Creative Community group on Facebook, wherever you're watching, because I am going to have some awesome giveaways on National Scrapbook Day. But oh, so much fun. I hope you enjoyed that, friends. I'm going to share the finished projects. I'm going to share a walkthrough of the tag book, but have a great week. And I will see you not this Friday or next Friday, the following Friday, whatever day that is. Okay. Whatever day that is, it's in May. And like I said, I'm going to be sending a newsletter out tomorrow too, to catch you up on all the other things that you've bought and all of the other things with dates, because I think it'll be good to have it in one place. So have a wonderful evening, my friends. If you're watching after the fact, thank you for joining us. Still leave comments. If you haven't, give us a thumbs up or a like, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And we will see you guys later. All right. I have so much packing and all the things to do. So we'll see you later. Thanks so much for joining me tonight on our out of the norm Wednesday night. But that was so much fun. We'll see you later, friends. Have a great night.